that it shouldn't be released. Okay, if you Google Cy Hirsch children raped, you'll get New Yorker magazine and others, and we've got these up on screen.
Well, you know what I think is better, Alex? We need to wake up America over the fact that this is going on and that it's unacceptable, and they better speak out about it.
No, that's my point. How do we get attention to it? We point this out like you're doing. I mean, you're really one of the only people that's been on national news even challenging this. And I see your point that you feel like you're the normal person going, you don't torture people. This is America. And then the media is acting like you're the weirdo.
Oh, yeah. And not only that, but even people behind the scenes are telling me that this is okay to do because it's saving lives. And I'm trying to say, well, but there's a bigger picture than even that, you know, that if you believe even that we're saving lives, we still have to stand for something. And not only that, but aren't the terrorists winning then, Alex? I mean, they can't beat us militarily. We all know that. But if they can change America and they can turn us into some sort of fascist, torturing country, well, then they're winning.
Well, look, you've come out and questioned the official fairy tale of 9/11. You know the official story is impossible. You know they staged the Gulf of Tonkin and they blew up Cuban airliners and blamed it on different groups. And it's in Army manual put out in 2004. They teach captains now how to stage false flag terror attacks. And so, you know, this whole excuse that we've got to listen to you with wiretaps to keep you safe from Al-Qaeda. And it comes out they've been doing it for decades before 9/11. I mean, it's all a big excuse to set up tyranny.
Do you know what happened to me today, Alex?
What?
The normal line that I use, because whenever I do national media, when I come back, whether it's a book tour or whatever it is, my home phones always go goofy, and so does my wife's computer. And sure enough, I'm doing the media stuff on the paperback book, and today the normal line that I always do my interviews on was dead. And I almost missed an interview this morning because I didn't know it was dead. And when I found out, of course, we were able to call up and we did the interview a half hour late. But that happens to me every time I go national. Anytime I start doing these national shows, my telephones start going bonkers in my house.
Is that why you said you've added extra backup phone lines now?
No, I have them all just for purposes like the one that I've been using for doing all my media is my fax line. Because if I pick up the phone quick, they don't get the fax machine. You know, and that's what I do because I sit right by my desk, and when it rings, the light goes on, and that's the one I use. And, well, that one was dead today.
Yeah, it's amazing. In fact, when you were governor, you said you had the phone guy out after, and they said, "Oh yeah, I've never seen anything like this."
When they had me hooked up, because you get a red phone in your house that if it's even knocked off the hook, of course, the local police come, which is good. You know, you want that ability to be protected, even though you've still got protection there. But when they came out after I left office, the professional phone guys looked at my phone and they said, "We've never seen a setup like what was on this thing. We don't even know what it was."
Well, for those that don't live in...
remember, you know, I'm like a redheaded stepchild in this country. I got elected not with money, and I got elected on ideas, and I beat the status quo, and it scared a lot of people. So I would assume they want to know what I'm doing.
Well, that's what I was about to say. For the people that are in denial, the CIA visited you, and 20-something of them your first day in office.
No. It wasn't my first day now. It was a few weeks.
Your second day or whatever.
No. It was a couple weeks in office. But, and now I know why they did it. Because all their questions dealt with how I got elected.
Sure.
But they didn't see me coming, and so they were, in hindsight, trying to learn what happened. I don't know if that's to prevent it in the future, or whether it's to be able to understand it in the future. I'm not really sure to what it'll be used for.
Well, that was my point, was that soon after being elected, you were visited by 20-plus members of the CIA who wouldn't tell you why they were there. So according to what my memory serves, you basically said, look, I'm not going to answer your questions, and left because of that. That shows how domestic...
We had a question and answer period, but I just, had to give him a hard time about it.
But didn't you ask him from memory that, hey, you're not supposed to be operating domestically?
Well, that was my first question. I asked them why they operate within the United States when their mission statement says that they're only supposed to be operational outside the United States. Why would they be inside it? And you really can't get an answer from them. They hem and haw, and I guess because they're federal and I was only a governor, they didn't feel required to give me an answer.
Well, no, they were breaking the law, so they didn't want to comment because you were hitting the nail on the head.
Okay. Well,
look, I want to ask you these.
Alex, I'm trying to...
No, I mean, that was it. I mean, you hit them right between the eyes. Look, here's the bottom line.
The scary part, Alex, was this. When I looked around the room at these 23 people, they're your neighbors. And what I mean by that is they're all ages. They look like the woman down the street that comes out and sweeps her step off in the morning.
That didn't look like James Bond in Casino Royale.
They look nothing like Sean Connery. They look, I guess I'm dating myself, they look nothing like the quintessential secret agent that you would imagine. They didn't even look like Howard Hunt, for that matter. They looked like, that was to me the real eye-opener about
Governor, have you noticed?
Was looking at who they were.
I mean, have you noticed all the radio and TV ads recruiting this giant domestic CIA? They are recruiting for domestic operations. Northcom is announcing that they're going to have military operations in the United States. Well,
I don't know. What do we do, Alex? Re-enlist and take back the military? I'm too old.
Well, this is my point. I believe you're a moral person, and by that, you follow what you think's right, and you're not here to be bought off. You're not here to compromise. You do what Jesse Ventura thinks is right. I'm telling you, I've studied Obama. This guy is a velvet glove George Bush with the iron fist, and he's saying they're going to continue to hold people secretly. He's saying no rights for detainees. He is looting us with the foreign banks just as much as George Bush did. Down the road, what is it going to take for you to start speaking out against Obama? Because a lot of folks
down the road, it'll be about a year from now. Because I've got to give him his due for at least more than 100 days, Alex. I got to see what happens and give him at least a year, because I can't imagine what it was like to step into that. And what he probably knows, just like when I became governor. After 100 days as governor, I was probably 50% smarter than I was prior to being elected governor. And then but I still was probably another 25% away from knowing everything. So I've got to give him a little bit more time before I would harshly criticize him.
Well, I mean, it's the lying, though, Governor. He just... Stay there. Got a break. We'll get your take on the other side.
Are you concerned for the safety of your loved ones? Listen closely to this message from pepperspray.com. Every 22 seconds a violent crime is committed. America has changed, and your personal safety is your first priority. Be smart. Be safe. Trust pepper spray instead of your luck. Pepperspray.com is the only website you'll ever need for all of your non-lethal self-defense supplies. Pepperspray.com carries one of the largest assortments of pepper spray and personal safety products on the web. From big to small, we have it all. Pepper spray, mace, animal repellents, stun guns, and tasers. Pepperspray.com also carries a large assortment of products for personal, home, child, and pet safety. Enter SAFE in the coupon box and you'll receive a special discount off of your order. So what are you waiting for? Go to pepperspray.com. That's pepperspray.com or call 1-800-908-9988 today.
His new book out in paperback, an international bestseller, Don't Start the Revolution Without Me. Don't start the revolution without you. You're definitely out there standing up against torture, the police state, the New World Order in many ways, and for the Bill of Rights and Constitution. What do you think of Chrysler going under? Now GM, they're going to give them bailout money to move to China and Brazil. The Wall Street Journal's now reporting. I mean, this globalization, this NAFTA and GATT, this has butchered the hell out of our country.
Well, again, you got to see it happen before, I don't know the economy well enough to know whether the bailout is proper or not. I don't, because both sides have voted for it.
Well, that's when you know it's bad.
When Bush was in, they all voted for the bailout, and then Obama comes and they continue to vote for the bailout. Is the bailout the answer? I don't know, but there's nothing we can do about it because they are our elected officials and they run the country. So I guess we're going to live or die by the decisions that they make because, after all, we elected them, didn't we?
So what happens is things start falling apart even more, and both parties, on every issue, 80, 90% of the people want to go one way, which is always with the Bill of Rights and Constitution. The people actually, on average, in polls, get it right, but the politicians are all together with the offshore banks. I mean, this is coming to a head.
Again, it still comes down to us. When you strip everything away from it all, we elect them.